everyone, without a crystal ball, welcome back to my channel. All right, let's jump into a story about Tana. Remember Tana, remember Jana, Tana Mongeau? She is in the news for all the wrong reasons. Isn't she always? Is there ever a time when she's in the news for the right reasons? I highly doubt it. But we've got to do some catching up. I haven't featured her on the channel in quite some time. I actually talked about her back when she got married to Jake Paul because I was able to quickly figure out that the entire thing was faked. No wedding registration, no license. The guy that did the officiation was not certified, was not a pastor. So we learned really quickly that they faked their entire wedding for clout. They ended up having to refund everything for their live stream because it didn't work. They had so much scandal regarding that. Remember TanaCon, and she had everyone come out and everyone got super sunburned. And then, there's all that stuff about the people that have come out as her former friends, Kaylin Berry and Nessa, have made videos basically alleging that she and her manager Jordan have been racially insensitive, had been involved in microaggressions, and they felt that they were mistreated by Tana. In the response, Tana actually made an Instagram where she said that she was going to address all these different things that were coming out. People started pulling her Twitter account, and they started seeing things that she had said to her friend Amari, and just overall racially insensitive comments that she had made throughout her time on Twitter. And her manager Jordan put out a statement basically saying that she's not like that. She's grown up. She started at a very young age. She's done all these different things. She's a better person now. She's not that person, which didn't kind of match what her friend Nessa said or Kaylin said. Okay. So she promised to put out this video, or many videos, where she was going to address all of these issues, and she did that on Instagram. And she didn't do it. She never put anything out. She didn't put out a video. In fact, Tana hasn't uploaded on YouTube in months. The last I checked, she had put something out on YouTube 2 months ago. She has been putting out TikToks, and she's been putting out stories on her Instagram, but she hasn't put out any new posts on her Instagram either. She is doing this in a way where she's putting out content where you can't really comment about what's going on in her life. She hasn't been using her YouTube platform at all, which was typically her moneymaker, and now she's using TikTok. She doesn't put out new merch. She's not promoting new products. She's basically not really working that we can physically see. So I don't know what she's been doing besides partying. Oh yes, that's right. Tana has been spending the better part of the last few months going out and partying, despite the fact that there's this global pandemic. She's been seen hanging out with Jake Paul, who literally told The Insider he doesn't care that there's this pandemic going on and he's not going to stop living his life because, life. Who cares? Screw the germs. Anyways, she made this statement where it was after a lot of pushback that she said that she was no longer going to go out, and she realized that it was bad of her to do that. So she said on an Instagram story, she said, "Partying and going to any social gatherings during a global pandemic was such a careless and irresponsible action on my behalf. I fully hold myself accountable for this and will be staying inside. Action like that don't deserve a platform, and I want to fully apologize and be better than this. I'm sorry. While Eric and I were referring to past drama in our video, the topic no longer matters. I need to be a better example and a better person." So she kind of minimized it. There was a video that was circulating where she and Erica said, "I don't care."
Don't fucking care!
Now, they say that they were referencing the fact that they had drama back in the day, but it came off as though she didn't care about the pandemic because they were literally at a party while in the middle of a global pandemic in LA, where there are spiking cases of the virus. So she realized pretty quick that she probably shouldn't be doing that, which means she hasn't been posting all these party stuff things that's been going on all over Hype House, Sway House, all the houses in Los Angeles that are defying orders, and basically everyone is passing around COVID, according to Def Noodles, who's been on a sleuthy, Def Noodles, as props to you, dude, for tracking all this stuff down. If you haven't followed him on Twitter, he's doing a great job of tracking all the influencers' actions. I'm not typically a TikTok coverer, so I am going to allow him to step in those territories. But I was kind of shocked that Tana did not say anything, has not responded, hasn't done anything. And she is not one to be shy for attention. I mean, obviously putting out TikToks is one thing, but TikTok is not a monetized platform, so she has to rely then on sponsorships. She is still getting AdSense from videos that she has on her channel, and she does get hundreds of thousands of views based on all of the old content she has. Imagine not uploading anything on a platform and still averaging hundreds of thousands of views a day. I can't even. Maybe one day. But she's not generating new material. So obviously all she's doing right now is basically hanging out at home and being what? Tana? So basically, as her career takes a nosedive, MTV announced that the fledgling series that she put out, it was supposed to be Tana Turns 21, but then it turned into Tana's getting married to Jake, and then it turned into Tana basically treats everyone in her life like crap. It was on MTV. It was 2 seasons, 14 total episodes, and it apparently is not getting picked up by MTV. So it was called the second season of it was called No Filter, and the videos were up on MTV in March and in April. But you know, she was complaining that she didn't like the way that she was portrayed by MTV. She blamed editing. She said that in one episode, she and her manager appeared to be fighting, but in reality, those weren't really fights. It was just sarcastic things being said back and forth. And she said MTV wanted drama, and I didn't think the episode would end up the way it did. There's probably people who will still be skeptical when it comes up, but I know what the truth is. Now, I can't say that that's not uncommon. Reality television shows are edited, and they are edited for drama, although Tana has a history of treating people like crap, so I don't know that they actually have to edit that in. She's just sort of this aloof and different person that has been famous since a very young age and hasn't had a lot of consequences for her actions. Every time she takes a misstep, like TanaCon, she had Shane come in and sort of rehab her image. You know, with the Jake Paul stuff, there was no fallout. I mean, people didn't seem to care that they entirely scammed their entire audiences, faked a wedding, and then pretended like they were married, but they weren't really married. And then she just said, well, we're over. But well, we're married, but you know, we're not really married. I don't need it to be legal for it to be real. And it was never real. So they never really said it was fake. Somehow they scammed their way out of that. Somehow nobody literally cares about the fact that Jake Paul is, you know, looting and doing all that kind of stuff. But anyways, this isn't about Jake. MTV has formally cut ties with her, and they will not be picking this up for a 3rd season. So Ashley Jones from Teen Mom, Young and Pregnant had made the claim that she had been fired due to her comments related to microaggressions. However, MTV told the Insider that they decided to move on well before any of the older stuff came out. And it might have just been that it wasn't a good match. The ratings might not have been great. People might have not been drawn to her. It's hard to bring a YouTuber to the forefront as someone like Tana, who's hardly likable, and then put her onto a show where, you know, she has to be likable or at least remotely entertaining. And the show wasn't that entertaining. I tried to watch the 1st season and I was out. And I mean, come on, I love a good trashy reality show, and it was just not good, my opinion. So she's out of a job at MTV, which I'm imagining was a good paycheck. Now, and that was sort of going to be her comeback. I mean, last year when she was added on to MTV, she was like, I can't believe this. I don't deserve this. That's kind of her MO. Like, anytime something bad happens, she's like, I don't deserve this. Like, we should just, you know, forgive her. And then she says, let's deplatform me because I don't deserve this, as a way to, feel sorry for her. So more and more people are getting irritated about it. People are on Twitter talking about how, you know, Tana promised these apologies. She hasn't apologized. The show is canceled now. What's Tana going to do? She hasn't put out new content. She's only on TikTok, and now she can't go out and party because everyone's scrutinizing her. Do you think that at some point Tana will finally really become irrelevant, and that people are just so tired of her antics? Or do you think she'll have to reinvent herself and do something where she's actually being productive? I mean, this is the same woman that literally changed her status to Black Lives Matters and hasn't done anything to push that movement forward, and still hasn't addressed any of the issues that have come forward from her friends, which they allege were racially insensitive actions. So Tana, it's your move. Literally, the internet's waiting, and you haven't done or said anything. You've been canceled, I guess, by 800 T channels. I'm not here to cancel you. I'm more just wondering, what's the next step for her? Do you think she can come back from this? Do you think she'll upload? Do you think she'll even address this? I mean, why isn't she answering these questions? I don't know. So, what are your thoughts? Tana canceled, Tana not canceled, Tana good, Tana bad. Again, don't send hate to her platform. This is not designed to cancel her. More just sort of like what's going to be the next step for Tana. All right, you guys, I'll be back later with more. Bye guys.